This is the channel for the woman who's done playing small, the woman who knows there's a fire in her belly, a voice in her bones, and a destiny she's done apologizing for. If you're ready to unleash the woman you were born to be, hit subscribe and join the movement. I'm Leona Schrock, and let's rise together. If you have a business, you already know that that's going to be the first place that you're going to feel stuck in your life. As an entrepreneur, everything that we do reflects our sense of identity. It also reflects our sense of identity without having a business, yet the business is going to be the glaring reflection to us, the same as our relationships. A lot of times we will look at our business from a logical standpoint of I feel stuck, what is not moving, why is this not moving? Working with CEOs, I see it constantly, the patterns. I see it in myself where we are missing the obvious because we are in it. And when you are in it, you don't have the bird's eye view. That's where I come in and I zone out and I show you what is actually going on because how and you show up in one area of your life is how you show up in every area of your life. However, in business, there's a lot more that is going on in the line. And when we are in expansion, example, when you are going from $1 million company to a multi-million dollar company, there is a whole identity expansion that is going to be required of you for you to step in. And how that's going to show up in your life is by the things that you are confronted with. Is it the numbers? Is it the people? What you think are the problems in your everyday life? You have the opportunity to reflect and see what is it that you're believing or seeing about yourself. For example, higher numbers mean higher risks, which means you getting deeper grounded in you and your safety and how you feel about those numbers. It also requires the next level of systems. It requires you to shift and be able to zoom out and look at those numbers and look what is going on from more clarity because you have a wider perspective happening and not get sucked into what is going on. And this is what I see happening and I see in myself all the time too is when you are in it and you are navigating through it, you have the emotions wrapped around it. You are trying to fix it because that is what we do as entrepreneurs and CEOs. We literally are wired and fired. That's what makes us such great, powerful leaders and business owners. Solve the problem, take care of it, and move forward. The problem isn't actually what is right in front of you. That is an opportunity for you to expand and elevate and look at it differently. When you are looking at things in your business, you are looking at it through the lens of your identity. You can have four people sitting at a table and they will all see something differently in this business because they are all filtering it through the sense of thyself and the way that they view the world. This is where the power comes in of when you have teams. This is also where the power comes in when you have the masculine and the feminine working together. The power is when you let the masculine be the masculine, the feminine comes in and sees and is the feminine. Masculine is very action oriented, very point driven, very achievement. They are the master at looking at something and saying, let me solve this, let me take care of this. The feminine has the discernment, has the intuition, and will see straight into the soul of the company, straight into the soul of the leader, which can feel really vulnerable, but is also at the same time very place where it's the most powerful because it's not who has the most power or who has the most strength or who knows the most. This is about navigating and working through these things together. When you are confronted with circumstances in your company or in your personal life, it's going to bring up something on the inside of you. Some of the issues might be cash flow. It might be the way that you're growing your teams. It could be in your investments. It could be in how your accounts are set up. It's a communications issue. If you are in the business world, everything is about communication, 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 communication. And if you want to clarify your communication, if you want to build stronger teams, if you want to expand your company, if you want to have the deep, meaningful structure, because your structure isn't just the systems, your structure is also your team building and who is in there. That is going to require you to embody a level of certainty within inside of yourself, because the more that you can communicate and express without being attached to that person or being attached to that project, but still have the heart and the passion behind it, the more you will elevate your whole world, the more your company will expand, make more money, grow. You now have people in a business who are part of business, who are part of the vision, who are part of the dream, are going to expand, grow, and evolve and make this baby happen. This is where I come in, and I work with the CEO and I am the extra set of eyes, the extra set of eyes on here, the extra set of eyes on the soul and the heart of the company, because I can see where the bottlenecks are. I can see the patterns. I can see where the identity shift. I have done years and years and years of identity shift. Upon working with the CEOs, I can walk in the room in a matter of 15 to 20 minutes. I will know where they are stopping themselves. People tell on themselves all the time. If you have your own business and you are wondering where you are stopping yourself, pay attention to two major things. One, pay attention to the language that you are speaking. Two, pay attention to the story that you are believing about your bank account, about your communications with your team, and about who you are as a leader. Those three things are telling you everything that you need to know about where your upper limits are in your company, in your life, and in your business that overflows straight into your personal life. How we show up in one area, it's how we show up in every area. Here's the thing, business magnifies because business has numbers, and numbers reveal and show you everything. So that shows you what you believe about yourself, what you think about yourself. And then when you are in leadership role and you are building the teams, you are building the company, and you are dealing with the investors, and you are going across the board, you are now being exposed in every area of your life. So the biggest growth and the biggest investment that you can make is with inside of yourself, who you are. You can look at the numbers all day long and you can spin the numbers round and round and round. But if you're not growing in who you believe that you are, those numbers might jump up for a moment, but they will bump back down. It's not a money issue, it's an internal belief system that you are operating from and you have expired in it. It no longer serves you. You are being called to step forward. How do you step forward when you're in this? How do you step forward when you're in the midst of it? You see the numbers, nothing is making sense, and it's you want to bust those ceilings. You feel the pressure, the weight of the world on the inside of you. You want to grow deeper and better, and having your team do have a more grounded and rooted structured frame, because that's the other thing. If you don't have a team in place that you can trust and that you built those meaningful relationships with, that you're no longer babysitting, but you are now elevating them and calling them forward and higher and making them feel like they are a part of something, then your business is going to flop. You're going to turn around, turn your back to go do something, and it's not going to maintain itself. All of it is possible without you stressing yourself out to the highest level once you get grounded and rooted and deeply go within inside of yourself. When you see your numbers and you are frustrated, look at the fear that you have behind it. When you are frustrated with your team, when you are not moving, because our company is a reflection, our business is a reflection of our leadership. Are we responsible for how people show up? No, we are responsible for communicating in a way that they understand. Then we are also responsible to discern if they are in their zone of genius, or if it's a communication issue on our end, or if they are not a fit for your business. We've all heard and we've all seen and we've all known that if you have one bad apple in the basket, before we know it, what happens? Peaches, it's even faster. You have a bad peach in there within In a few days' time, your basket of peaches, all of them are going to be spoiled because of one. When you don't have the people where they thrive and where they feel aligned, are there going to be challenges? Yes. How you navigate through these challenges with your team members is all going to be the same way that how you show up in your inner challenges, how you confront those challenges. If you have people that consider avoiding taking responsibility, ask yourself, am I avoiding having the difficult conversation with them? And that is where it's an opportunity for you to grow. The same goes for when you are investing, when you are networking, when you are building those relationships. Our business is never stuck because of the business. The business is stuck because we feel stuck in the identity and the belief system that we have about ourselves. This is where the power is when you have several people coming together and you build that solid network where you look at the numbers, you look at where your team is, you do the weekly meetings, you see what is going on the inside scoop. Because the more that you have the capacity and the ability to expand and grow in your company, the more you will have the capacity and the ability to show up with your team, the more you will have the overflow and the abundance in your everyday life, in your personal relationships, because how many of you have heard that people have a business and they feel a deep sense of loneliness? I remember I used to be this way. I struggled for years and years and years where I had deep sense of loneliness of the weight of the world was on me. If it was on me to run the things, it was on me to take care of everything. I had everything according to the books of the world. I had everything according to paper. But yet I had this deep sense of loneliness because I would have the ability to achieve and make a lot of things happen, but I didn't have the ability to achieve and actually work together with other people to build and create something. That doesn't mean if you're a CEO that you lose your position as a CEO in your company. You are, what is the word that I'm it elevates you and it makes you more powerful in your company. And when you are in your power of who you are as a CEO, that automatically elevates everybody around you, and whoever isn't ready for that level of elevation will drop off and fall off. And that's where you let that go so you can bring in those who are meant to be in your world. But really, what we're pinpointing here, what we're getting down to the core of, is you having that sense of connection and that deep rooted groundedness and that deep inner knowing within inside of yourself in your business, with your leaders, with your other leaders, with your teams, with your money, and in your personal life. Because if you are thriving, quote unquote, in your business life, you might feel like you're not thriving in your personal life. If you're thriving in your personal life, you might feel like you're not thriving in your business. That is because you have a belief system that you have to sacrifice one thing for the other. That shows up in every CEO that I know. It was in me, and that's why I had a sense of loneliness because I have to self sacrifice to build this baby. I have to do whatever it takes to make this happen because I was avoiding the sense of vulnerability to express and show up and have those connected conversations and really be raw, real, and honest with myself of what it looks like, looking at the bank accounts, looking at the numbers that my business is bringing in, looking at my own internal beliefs when I'm showing up with my team members asking for what I need. Am I communicating clearly? Am I communicating confidently? Am I showing my heart in these situations where they actually can feel like they are part of my company versus they are just another number? Am I allowing them to be part of the bigger vision, or am I placing them outside of that and making it all about me because I feel like the weight of the world is on me? Part of what brought you into where you are is because you wanted freedom. So we're going to keep the freedom, and how you keep the freedom is creating the connection with inside of yourself. So you have the ability to look at everything that you have in your business and in your personal life and have the honest, raw, real conversations. And you have the embodiment and the identity. You know how they say first you have to become the millionaire before you actually make the millions? That all happens in the internal work. And that is not the work that I do with my CEOs. And I even work with the wives of the CEOs. And what do you know that happens every freaking time like clockwork? The relationship evolves, the relationship deepens, and it strengthens. The same thing happens in the company. The company grows, it evolves, the team members become better leaders, the numbers start looking better. Is there things that still up and down dip? Yes, that is part of the company. But when you are looking at your life, it's never that life is the issue or business is the issue or the relationship is the issue. Do we see where I'm going with this? You are the problem. The beauty is when you are the problem, you are also the solution. The power is within you. God has placed it within you. It's not that you're broken or you need to fix yourself. It's that you have the ability to shift and change your whole life once you decide that nothing is going to stop you and you are actually going to reflect and hold that mirror up and let that business be a mirror, let that relationship be a mirror, and shine light on every area of your life that you desire to go into and you feel like you can't break through. See you next episode.